Hello, I am Megan Rowe and this is Girls That Gig. Joining us today we have Sif Jacobson of Lilac's daughter. How are you today?
Good.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it. The first question I wanted to ask you is actually about your accent, because that's like the first thing anyone ever says. They want to know where you're from, what your accent's about, because I know the comments will be that straight away. So do you want to tell us?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people ask if I'm from Canada. And it's because obviously my accent is quite American sounding. And it's not so bad anymore. When I just moved here, it was really bad. It was really American. Or I don't know if that's a bad thing, but it was very American.
Yeah.
And now when I go back to the States, people are like, oh my God, like, you sound so English now. Like,
what's changed? I can't tell. I just think
it's certain words.
Oh, okay.
Do you hear that?
Instead of
like
words?
Yeah, like it's not like words anymore. Like it's not so snary and like in the back of your mouth. It's more sort of in the front of your mouth, and it sounds a little bit nicer. I kind of like this mix of English and American a bit more.
It's cool. It's interesting. It's like you think, oh, that girl Sif, she's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it's a massive like. It's so misleading because I'm from Denmark.
Yeah,
which was your question, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, that like when I first met you, that was the thing. I was like, oh my God, this girl who does music, she's really into all this like folky sort of singer-songwriter stuff. It's really cool. And she's been everywhere. Like, you've been... Well, tell us about where you've been.
Well, like, for music, I don't know if you could call it that I've been to places for music. Basically, I grew up with a single mom who was very good at traveling. Mm-hmm. And I've lived with my mom in, like, Greenland. And we did, like, very sort of not... touristy holidays. I remember always going, like, we would go and live in people's places, like private homes, which now is called Airbnb, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But back then it didn't exist, so it was more like we'd go live with friends of friends, and it was always, and that's sort of, that is like an inspiration, I guess, to go everywhere. And when I turned 16 and I finished school, I was like, Mom, I want to go to America and be in a high school. And I'm not sure why I wanted to do that.
I think it's so cool.
Yeah, I didn't think it was particularly cool. I just felt this, like, I just really wanted to go to America. I think it was like a feeling of like the world is so big. What's the biggest place I can think of?
Yeah.
That is still like not too far from my own culture, and I guess that was America.
Aww.
That I could think of. And so yeah, she worked her ass off and got me into an exchange program.
That's so cool.
And I lived there for a year. Yeah.
And what was school like?
It was interesting for me. Because my school was a small private school. It was like in Denmark, you go to the same school from grade 0 to grade 9, and each grade had 20 students, and that was it. So 20 grade 0, 20 grade 1, and all the way up to 9.
Right, okay.
So it was such a tiny, tiny little school, and it was all like really collaborative and very free-minded and free-spirited. So I came to this sort of huge high school with the school system of America, which is just a total opposite.
Yeah.
So I think I wasn't really sure how to deal with it, and I found it really hard to take seriously.
Yeah.
Also because other than having the experience, doing that program wouldn't do anything for a degree. So it was just a matter of having the experience. So I actually I took a lot of distance, I think, to the school and focused more on friends and connections. Yeah, and made lots of friends that weren't even in my high school. I was just sort of...
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't I don't think I liked it very much.
That's so cool. Like, I remember you telling me about when you went to high school, and you said that it's just like the movies, and I just thought, oh my god, wow. Well, because you just think of all the little cliques and stuff like that, and I think that's really interesting.
I bet if you ask an American, they wouldn't say it's like the movies. But if you come from like an outside perspective, it is. You see like the cheerleaders and the like, I don't remember the name for them, but like the sport people and the drama kids and like the nerdy kids from the chess club and all of those. Yeah.
See, we sort of had that here, but it's like not as, it was sort of forbidden. It was a bit like they didn't want us to do that. They wanted us all to, there was always an effort to be like girl, boy, so everyone's sort of mixed up, I think. I don't know if it was like that for everyone, but definitely at my school that was what it was like. Should probably ask you about your music, seeing as this is about girls that gig. You do a lot of gigging. What are you involved in at the moment? And just tell us more about some performances you've done.
So my main thing is Lilac's Daughter, obviously my personal project, which is an interesting journey, a very long journey, and which actually started in America. So I guess it's all related. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, so I've got that. I've got a really, really lovely band that of some great musicians that I found here in Leeds, and then I've got Jacob's Party.
Woo! Yeah,
with Miss Megan Rowe.
I am in the band.
Yes, we like that. We like that. So that's the new cover band, which will be, I guess, a mix of straight up covers and some interpreted ones. And
I can't wait. It's
a
gonna
lot
be awesome.
of rock guitar sounds in it, and yeah, that's gonna be fun. And other than that, I just sort of do little acoustic cover gigs.
Yes.
On the side, just to bring in a bit of cash, I guess.
Yeah. You might as well if you can do.
Like,
if you've got the material.
And I think at first I was thinking, oh, this is just to earn money. And what I realized really, really quickly was that it's such a different kind of performance from like doing your own gigs and doing your own music that you learn from it. Like, because it's different. It's the same with busking. Like, I started busking last year, and I wasn't sure if that was a good idea, and I wasn't sure if I even agreed with it, and then I started doing it, and I realized how much you learn from performing in such a different setting. Yeah,
I've only done it once, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. I thought, oh, this is a waste of time. But what did you think?
Well, I felt that it was a waste of time, but then looking at what I brought in, I realized it wasn't. I sold so many CDs, like, and I did earn quite good doing it, and I got loads of gigs out of it, and lots of people come up and, you know, especially in summer, they'll come up and say, hey, are you free this weekend? We really need someone like you to come play.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so it's really, really good advertisement.
Yeah, I'd never thought of it as that. I've only really thought of it as quick cash.
Yeah.
Bit of pocket money.
Yeah, but that's my point about both kinds of gigs, like both busking, but also the cover gigs. You think of it as quick cash, and then you do it, and then you realize that just like, and it sounds so cheesy, but just like anything else, it comes down to being about music more than about money, and that's really cool. It's nice when life slaps you in the face and go like, don't you dare be thinking about money.
Yeah.
And then you realize that it's about the quality of the music and the quality of the performance.
Definitely. Yeah.
I
just wanted to ask, this is a bit of a random one, but where did you come up with the name Lilac's Daughter?
It's not very random. I get asked that a lot.
Go on, tell us.
It was, I think, basically, I traveled to America lots, and I played there, like open mics and stuff, and I realized my name is not very international.
Okay.
Sif is weird. Like most people can't pronounce it, and having a name like that that's unpronounceable and like uninternational. I think it's a bit more. It makes sense, but in a different genre. Like Moo does it, and that makes lots of sense. But in the folk scene, it didn't really suit it. And on top of that, I've always sort of felt like my songs are a different character, almost like it's a different part of myself that I don't get to be in real life because it's real. So I had to come up with something else. I love Lilacs. I've always really, really loved them. And my dad was a musician, and I'm his daughter. So I thought, Lilac's daughter.
That's really cute. I like that. That's a nice story. Interesting fact, my bedroom when I was young was lilac in colour. And I chose that.
You chose that?
I chose that colour. So...
That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. More next time. Okay, I was listening to your album this morning. Alaska Man.
Yeah, that's your song, isn't it?
It is. I just love it. Like when I first started listening to it, I kept having it in my head all the time, and not like anything else. It sounds like I'm like bigging this up, but it just wouldn't leave my head at all. Like some of the vocal hooks are really nice, like really there. Like the lyrics as well. You remember them. That's cool, you know? I'm just telling you how great you are. But I want to know how did you find recording it? Because obviously I can hear the final product, but I don't know how that came about, what you enjoyed from it, you know, what did you take from it?
From recording that one song, or from recording the entire album?
The whole thing. Even what country did you do it in?
Well, I recorded this album right before I started doing music full time. And I was very lucky to be referred to some really lovely and good producers in Copenhagen. And they liked what I was doing, and they were like, yeah, let's get this album down, let's make it happen. And we came in and we did it in, I believe, 2 weeks, or like 2 weeks of weekdays. So a total of 10 days we went in and recorded everything. And I like the idea of bringing in a song and having an idea of where it's supposed to go, like in a sense of feel and stuff like that. But then I tell the feel to the musicians, and then they sort of have they have the freedom to do whatever they want. I'm not going to give them a score and say, you need to do this and this and this, because one, I can't. And two, I think that at the end of the day, if they have creativity on it, it just ends up being much, much better.
Yeah.
And of course, there's lots of times where I'll go, no, yes, when they try out stuff. But then it just turns out really good. So that's what we did. We went in for those 10 days and we did ghost tracks. And then we put all the instrumentation on. And some lovely musicians came in and joined me. Awesome. And then we finished it off with me like doing the last tracks on them. It was fun.
Yeah, it sounds good. Like, did you find it stressful, or was it nice?
No, I wasn't stressed. I think because there was no deadline for one. Well, there was, in the sense of how long we had.
Yeah.
And at the time, I didn't realize. I knew nothing. I knew nothing about recording. I knew nothing about how to make songs and stuff. And the 10 days only included the recordings. It didn't include like mixing.
Right. Okay.
So like they did that afterwards. So obviously, and that's what takes ages. So it didn't stress me. It was more like a learning experience, mostly about production and sort of what you can do. Like, I didn't realize how much you can do and what you can't do. And it's been so beneficial coming here to Leeds College of Music and knowing how it works, really.
Yeah, definitely. Even just being in a studio and watching someone press a button, it's like, what did that just do? And
or watching a producer produce. Like, the ideas they came up with, and like the way they go about producing. It was really interesting to watch and learn from. I'm more grateful for the experience than I was stressed.
That's great. Yeah, I don't know. I was sort of expecting it to be like, because it seems like such a polished piece of work. I was expecting it to be more like there was a lot more stress in it. Really, I don't know. It just seems so well done. So
that's all on the two guys that did it. Especially Sun Itano. It's just he just did such a good job on it, and it's yeah. That's all on them, not me. And I think also because it was easy because I've written those songs over the course of like 10 years. So I
knew them so well. Yeah,
I knew them so well that it wasn't an issue to go in and nail them basically straight away. They're quite settled.
Yeah. What's your favourite song to play live? And this can be any band.
At all?
Yeah, any song in the world.
In the world.
In the world.
In the universe. I really enjoy duetting with my guitarist, Matt Baxter.
Aww.
I think that's really nice. And we do a cover of a cover.
Oh.
We've ripped off a cover. And
I know which one this is.
yeah, it's Roll 'Em Easy by Little Feat, I believe originally. I can't remember. It's two siblings who do it. And Matt went on tour in America and met them and heard their performance and suggested, he suggested we do that song because we did like a duet tour in Copenhagen. And it's such a beautiful song and it's so nice and like, it's just that feeling when you harmonize with someone and when it works, when it really works and like your hair rises and you get so in the moment that you just kind of, you even forget the person.
Yeah.
Like, you're just in it.
I totally get that with harmonies. Yeah. It's just nice.
So that's, of all songs in the whole universe that I perform, which aren't that many.
That's so
that's
cool.
The one, yeah.
You could have said X's and O's by Jacob's Party, but it's fine.
Well, it's just, you need to get those harmonies straight, man.
Yeah, I need to get in there and do some BVs. Okay, this is something that's sort of not related to music, but I always find it interesting because I just want to know, what do you do to keep healthy? How do you keep a healthy lifestyle? Because I know you do. You're like skinny and whatnot, and you eat good food. I always see you eating good food. You walk your dog.
You're like, don't you dare tell me that you're not healthy.
Don't, please.
I've thought so much about this. I especially thought about it last night while I was pouring down a beer, 2 tiramisus and chocolate. And I was like, I wonder how I still stay healthy. It's a very important thing to be talking about, I think.
Definitely.
Because generally, I find, unfortunately, I feel that a lot of people are very unhealthy. And it's very taboo, I think. It's very taboo to talk about because you're not allowed to say that someone are not living a healthy lifestyle because then it's like you're talking down at them. And at the same time, you're not allowed to be talking about living healthy because then you become this like really annoying, skinny white bitch. So it's I'm really glad that you asked that question.
Yeah.
I think it's obviously it's a lifestyle choice. For me, I was so lucky that my mom brought me up eating healthy and living healthy, both in body and mind. And that makes it easy for me to always choose the healthier alternative. And I think that's the problem when you look at the majority of people that are unhealthy, is that a lot of people don't even know what the healthy alternative is.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
There are a few rules, like you choose, so you go in and you're I'm going to cook pasta tonight. That's a typical student thing to be cooking, isn't it? Pasta. Well, you're going to choose brown pasta or you're going to choose white pasta. And it's those kind of little things, like always choosing the healthy alternative. You go and buy chocolate, are you going to get the dark chocolate or are you going to get the light chocolate. You know, it's those kind of choices, I think. And then it's just incorporating that in your everyday lifestyle. Make sure that there's also a 80-20 rule where 80% of, when you make a plate, 80% of your plate has to be like vegetables or greens and stuff like that, and 20% can be
you should see my plate
else.
It's like 1% green from like someone's lettuce that they left on a plate that they didn't wash properly. No,
that's nice.
Definitely need to get more veg in there.
Like it all dried in,
yeah,
like
just
little
like in the
tiny
corner.
piece of broccoli.
Oh,
yummy. And it's still got a bit of soap on it because the soap scratched on it. Yeah, no, it's like 80-20 rule is really, really good to follow, I think. And I think especially because I know it's difficult to be eating let the majority of your food be vegetables and greens and stuff like that, or plant-based foods is what it's called. But it's important because if we don't, how do I explain it? Basically, if you don't eat enough plant-based, then you have a tendency to not get enough vitamins and minerals and all the stuff that your body feeds from. And if you don't get that, you're hungry all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're hungry all the time, then you'll seek to white bread and sugar and meat and stuff like that. That's not, or like dairy products, that's not as good for you.
Yeah.
And then you go into a really bad spiral of eating the stupid shit that you shouldn't be eating.
Letting your body run off just sugar.
The more you can bring in and fill up with vitamins and minerals and stuff like that, the less hungry you'll actually be for other stuff.
Yeah, it is that, isn't it? It's the actual vitamins and minerals and everything. It's having everything that your body needs that makes you full.
Yeah, like that's why juicing to me is really dangerous. Because if I juice, then I'm not really hungry. And I could basically live off juicing. And I'm like, no, that's really actually unhealthy. That's like, that's so healthy, it's unhealthy. That's not good for you.
It is scary. Like, juicing is... I've done it before and it's sort of like... It's so energizing that you're like, oh my God, this is weird.
It's the best. I'm like, my eyes are massive right now. I'm just like, I love juice.
Oh... Yeah, I need to do more of that. I have actually got a juicer, but it's broken. Like, to get it to work, you have to, like, have two people on the machine at the time because one of the handles has fallen off. It's one of them. It's awkward. It's really a pain. But maybe I'll invest over the summer.
Or a blender, like, get one of those, like, just the long blenders and do, like, smoothies with lots of vegetables in it, like spinach. And avocado is technically a fruit, but...
Yeah.
You know, like, put in things... And then look into things like seeds, chia seeds, or like superfoods like chia seeds and quinoa and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. Rather than, and like put that in rather than, so I put in quinoa rather than meat in lasagna.
You call it quinoa?
Quinoa.
See, I say quinoa.
Quinoa.
But I've heard like so many different people saying it. So
I have no idea. I call it that. And I don't care. It's probably wrong.
Oh, my mum once, I said that I wanted to try tofu. And she was like, she called me up and she's like, what's this tofu? What is it? And she's like asking the people at Asda, like, where can I find tofu? And it's just, Mum, you got it wrong.
That's really cute, though. I appreciate that.
Bless her. Okay, I think I'm going to ask you one final question, and it is going to be music related this time, promise.
Sweet.
What are you listening to at the moment? And you can say more than one, but you know when you sort of have something that you're like, oh, that's what I'm going to listen to. Like the moment for me, the new Radiohead stuff is like, I'm getting into that right now. What about you?
I'm not sure. I've listened for the last couple of months when we've had our assessment weeks. I've listened to a lot of specific stuff too, because I've tried to take a specific direction in my writing and be inspired by that. So from that, I've listened to Sam Lee, who's a really interesting folk musician in the UK.
Sam Lee.
He like basically I like what he does. He like collects old like folk and gypsy songs, and then he just re-records them with himself and his band, and it's really cool.
Is that not against folk? Actually, what folk
No,
is?
because that is folk, isn't it? It's keeping the stories alive.
Yeah.
And like if he didn't do this, they would die. They would just not, pass on to the next generation. Or
that's cool. That's cool that someone's doing that.
Yeah, that sort of thing, which then, inspired me to write Orpheus that we worked on together.
Yeah.
So
Orpheus,
yeah, about Eurydice. Since our assessment weeks, though, I've just been listening to random music. One thing I really like to do is when I watch a film to listen to the songs, because more and more films don't have like the typical all big band arrangements over them anymore.
Yeah.
A lot of films have very sort of singer-songwriter-ish music in the background. So I like to listen to that a lot and just find tracks from that and listen to
What film? Any films in particular?
I've been listening a lot to the soundtrack from a film called, is it just called Happy?
Happy?
I think so. Something about how to get happy. And it's a comedy, I think. It's about this guy who's like a psychiatrist, and then he goes out and he tries to find happiness. And it's really sweet.
Oh.
It's a bit cheesy. But I was just like, oh my God, this soundtrack is amazing. And I need to listen to it. Those kind of films about like people finding themselves and like all of those where people go out. Like one of my all-time favorite soundtracks, obviously, Into the Wild.
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack, like the songs Eddie Vedder wrote for that, are just, they never get old to me.
I need to listen to that because I've seen the film and I noticed when I listened to it, when I watched it, I was like, oh yeah, this is a soundtrack. I'm going to write that down for tonight.
Do it. And then I think last one is I saw Ryex the other night, and that was really, really good. And I've been listening. No, artist from Australia. He's like a singer-songwriter, but it's more electronic. Super melancholic.
Okay.
It's almost like if you listen to it too much, you might go kill yourself a little bit. Like it's really melancholic. No, it's really, really good though.
Yeah.
And I
like that though. I like sad music because it makes me sort of feel
something.
The things.
Yeah.
And then I don't have to go and be horrible to people because I'm just like, I've already felt that now. I don't need to take it out on you.
It's very beautiful though. It's that kind of melancholy where it's like, it's not sad. It's almost like finding the beauty in sad situations.
Yeah.
It's that kind of music. Like it's really, really good. It's really good. And the musicians that he has with him are amazing as well. That to me matters massively. If a songwriter they can always be good, but if their musicians aren't good, then or
something's
creative or like, helping with the songwriting, then it doesn't become as good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be right.
Yeah, like it's nice when you hear a song and you can hear that all the different inputs that people have been collaborating on it, that it's not like
it's the same, everyone knows what the message is, everyone knows why it's being done.
Yeah. But then like the way that I convey a message might be different from the way that you convey a message.
Yeah.
But then if we put it together, it's like sparks and fireworks and shit.
Yes. Well, more of that is to come. Follow Lilac's Daughter on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Also, check out Jacob's Party.
Yes.
Keep
an eye on it.
Yeah, keep an eye on it. We're on it.
Yeah.
This has been the very first Girls at Gig podcast. Thank you very much for coming to talk to me today.
Thanks,
dude.
It's
been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And we're going to go to a gig tonight, so yeah, party on. Thanks for listening. Bye.